This is Sara Licht. I am going to make a video today for my Sunday share on Monday. It's Monday. Um, and I was thinking about what to share. There have been some interesting things I was noticing with horses this week. So here's what I'm going to talk about. I got notes here. I'm noticing, I've noticed it before, and it's really struck me how our horses are more connected to us than sometimes we might think. And um, I think it's a nice acknowledgement to them or to any of our pets when we acknowledge like how hard they are trying to help us or how much they do care for us. It's not just, oh, I'm taking care of you, I'm doing this for you, little animal or horse, that they actually feel oftentimes that it's their job to care for us. And so I'm going to share some stories, some examples of where I've noticed this and been struck by it. Let's see. One of the first ones that stands out is I was taking a class down in Florida, and it was like energy work, personal growth kind of class, and the instructor was actually sort of being abusive to me, and even like my friends that I knew in the class would be like, I don't think Sarah's like that. And they're like, she's like, you don't speak, So it was just kind of like I was like put on the spot, and I don't feel like she was being fair. I was really struggling. I was crying. I was just like having all this stuff come up, and I got a phone call. So I was down in Florida. I got a phone call from my friend in Arizona who's taking care of Rainy, my horse, and she sent a text. She said, your horse's manure is almost like liquid. And then I got like a download. I just realized, oh my God, Rainy is worried sick about me. She knows that I'm struggling. And then I also understood at that moment that she thinks it's her job to take care of me. Every day that I've been going to the barn to make sure she's okay and give her, attention and work together, she's been perceiving it as, oh, good, you're okay. Good, just making sure you're okay. So she sensed that I was very, very upset, and she couldn't get to me. She didn't know what's going on, and she was worried sick, literally, physically. So so what I did then when I realized that, I was like, oh my gosh. So first because we are so connected, and that was showing me that we're connected. Um, oh, another aside is I had read a book many years ago. There's a couple of them. One is Secrets of the Soil and The Secret Life of Plants. Tompkins and Bird are the co-authors of those books. And in one of those books, they talked about how they hooked up plants to like a really sophisticated lie detector and watched their energy. And the plant of a certain person, the person would go even fly overseas, and when they experienced stress or something really difficult, the reading on the plant that was hooked up was matching this guy's level of stress. Like the plant was connected to him almost like emotionally. So that occurred to my mind also when I heard about my horse being worried sick, and I thought, wow, if a plant is connected to us that way, I'm sure our pets are tuned into us. So I immediately just tuned into her and said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you for caring so much about me. And just so you know, it's actually not your job to take care of me. I just, thank you so much. And I am okay. I'm going to be okay. I am okay. And you don't have to worry like it's your job to take care of me, like you're not doing enough for me, okay? And I just said thank you. And then the next day at the class was very different. Like what I got from it was just basically like a personal thing of where I was kind of like playing the role of student and like, oh, this is the teacher. And so I shifted my energy. It was basically like, don't F with me. That's like totally unfair, not, and I kind of got back my own empowerment. Everything changed with the dynamic, and my horse was immediately better. Another example of noticing, like recognizing that horses care and have like preferences about people that super duper surprised me. It was many years earlier. I was still in Wisconsin, and I was uh, teaching some riding lessons to young kids using my dad's horses. And this one horse of his that I rode as a young girl, um, pretty much like we'd send the kids out to catch their horses out in the big old pasture, and she would just kind of slowly walk away from them. She was not interested, and eventually they could catch her, and she did a fine job. Except there was this one little girl that when her mom's van started driving down the road, you know what? Oh, I hope this isn't super windy. Hope it's okay. Anyways, this horse would be so excited, she'd come running to the gate. She'd be waiting at the gate, leaning against the gate, waiting for this girl in anticipation. She just was crazy about this particular girl that took riding lessons. All the other kids, not so much. And when I saw that, I was like, wow. You know, when you see it, you're like, wow. So recently, I've been working with a few clients with their horses that, to me, it seemed like they missed kind of the foundation of emotional, I'm okay, emotional maturity, using all these like little basic steps that I like to do where I take into account how does the horse feel about this. And what I've been noticing is when the owner is present, these horses have a greater level of I'm okay. And when they're not present, they seem to be a little bit more on edge. And I don't feel like I'm being different at all with these horses. I'm being like fair, using my energy, using animal communication, saying okay, but they're just a little bit more like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen to me. And it's I think it's pretty, I'm telling the owners, I was like, wow, you know, your horse feels better when you're here. And even one horse that I've been working with for a friend, she got hurt, so she's been recovering. She had to go have surgery, and you could see it. I mean, it's subtle. You got to look for it, but you could see, like, he just had this a little bit more feeling of she's here. When she finally came to visit him, and I was there, and I said, yeah, he's different. He looks happier. Let's see my notes here. Well, let's just ask, like, why is this important? Well, I think it's important, you know, if you care about somebody and you're trying to do your best or whatever, and you were never ever like acknowledged by it, it would probably feel pretty good to get acknowledged and have the person be willing to receive your caring more. So when I'm talking about this, what I mean is that our pets, our horses, our animals, I think are a lot very much aware of how we feel and how we're doing, and they really do care. So when we just, even from a distance or with them, just say, gosh, you know, thank you so much, that I think that means a lot to them. I know I see my horses just kind of like light up, and they feel, the energy feels different when I acknowledge to them and I'm willing to receive from them, not just see it as, look, I'm doing all this stuff for you. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. So another thing that I think about that, like when I am in a better space, or take care of myself, or be kind to myself, I know that also affects the animals that I'm with. It helps me to be more present with horses. And, you know, just, I talked a lot about that Mustang before in the other video, how that changed a lot. And I think it just creates more ease. Like our animals want us to be kind to ourselves. And when we're kind to ourselves, whether it's like, you know what, I think, I don't know, it's popping into my head, like, you know, I think I'm going to eat more greens. Like, maybe it would feel good to, like, make a really delicious, like, how can I make a salad taste so good and yummy? Like, for me, I love salad, but, or, like, choosing something healthy for myself, or I'm going to find a guided meditation that I like and try it for 7 days and just give myself this time for me in self-care. I think think it can have a really wonderful effect for not only internally with ourselves, but also for our horses, our relationships, and even what we like attract into our world of what can come to us more easily. And on the topic of food, 'cause I'm going to write a book about food and bodies and body image, and because like I feel a little bit frustrated when I see people beating themselves up or refraining or like not, in this like this judgment way of food. So I just want to say on the topic of that, like like if you go at it from like if you're choosing to do something, okay, I'm going to take good care of myself, not like, oh, I'm bad, I'm fat, I better eat some more salads, it's terrible. No, like do it from a loving place, like, wow, my body works, it walks, it breathes, it heals itself. Thank you so much, body. And choosing a salad, if you think that's something that your body would like, from a place of love and appreciation. Okay, back to horses. Yeah, so that these the animal communication, the like my horse showing me that she was tuned into me even while I was in Florida and she was in Arizona. It just reminds me that we are all connected, and there is really no the physical distance, the geographical distance doesn't really matter. So that's kind of cool, and I've used that in training. Like there was a horse that's really like pretty like physically to me intimidated. Like I was like, wow, this is a powerhouse of a horse bred for racing. We don't know her history, and I took some time before starting to work with her. I think I met her and just was really present, and she was amazing. And then we decided the lady wanted me to train her, and I took some time before I started our first training session and just kind of like talked with her, talked with the horse. I'm trying to remember what I actually did. I used some of the animal communication stuff that I can share in future videos. It's not hard, but even just like being like saying, hey, here are my intentions. Here's what your owner's thinking. Like, would this be fun for you? And here's who I am. Like, I don't have any ill intentions towards you. I think you're amazing, and you're so beautiful, and you're so, wow, you're really a special horse. And this was all sincere, and she was really responsive to it. And then when I saw her in person, each time, like it seemed like she really tried to do her best. And her owner said, she's waiting at the gate for you. I've never seen her do that for anyone. So that was pretty cool, kind of a affirmation or a validation. Let's see. So there's no distance. Like distance doesn't matter. The physical, geographical distance doesn't matter. So another thing, I used to, when I first got my own horse, I worried daily and just felt like, am I even being, oh no, is she okay? Is she okay? Am I doing enough for her? It was exhausting. I was worrying. I did that for about a year, like it was going to help something, and constantly felt like I'm probably not doing enough for her. And then, thank goodness, I realized, wow, that's exhausting. It's probably not benefiting her, just being a worried person. It's not benefiting me. And so I kind of had this conversation with her, like, because, I'm not sure if you know this, but my perception sometimes growing up with horses on a property is they have a bazillion million ways to invent getting hurt. If there's something, one little tiny sharp thing, they will find it and cut themselves open or do something like that. That had been my experience. I don't necessarily believe that anymore. Now I wonder, like, does this horse want me to be more present? Hey, how you doing? Does this horse want me to uh, give it more attention, or is there something for me? Like I need to, like it would be good for me to come outside, dress the bandage, on a daily basis, and that's kind of the way that the horse is getting me to have the benefit of being with them because I have to go there and take care of this wound. Okay, side note. So so I was really exhausted worrying about my horse, and I finally had this conversation with her saying, you're a being, I'm a being. To some extent, you have to be responsible for your own well-being, okay? Cool. And I love you, and I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to check on you, and we'll spend time together, and I appreciate you so much. But I kind of just like shifted some of the responsibility to her. And I don't know, knock on wood, she's really been easy and wonderful and so smart. And even sometimes I've said, when we're in a situation with, we moved from Wisconsin to Arizona, where she's just been in a kind of a large stall size thing, like Mare Motel, not roaming around on like acres and acres. I said, if there's something that you need and I'm not here, you can figure out a way to get it. And then people would come up to me at the barn later and say, oh, I hope you don't mind, but oh my gosh, your horse was just staring at me and looking at me, and so I gave her like a little bit of this hay and stuff. And I just thought, yep, she's doing it. She's figuring out how to get what she would like to have from other people, not just me. Let's see. I feel like there was another thing too. Yeah, well, I guess just the thing about distance not really mattering. So, is that a word? Daily, especially on vacations. If I go on a trip, I will arrange for people to do stuff with my horses and make sure they're just giving them the extra care besides the food and their stall being cleaned when I'm gone. But you can like put a picture of them on your screensaver or your phone, and that every time you see it, you can like go, oh yeah, and even that gives them a little bit of energy, which is like attention. And I have made it more of a habit because it feels good to just, so now I have 2 horses. I will spend time on each one and just feel like, kind of check in with them from wherever I am and just feel like, hey, hi, and send appreciation and kind of step into from their point of view, like, oh yeah, you're gonna get your food. Your food's gonna come. You got good water. You can see, just kind of step in and just have this tune into their feeling. I did this before when I'd catch myself kind of worrying, like, oh, I thought I was going to be at the barn 2 hours ago, but now I'm not there. So I'd kind of check in with Rainey and be like, I just sent her the message. I was like, you know what? I was going to be there at that time because I'm pretty sure that she knew that she was like anticipating me to be at that time, but then I switched around my schedule. So I'd give her the update, like, hey, everything's okay, but here's the change of plans. Okay? And I always just felt this like, I'm cool. It's great. I'm cool. That's what the message I got back from her was. Let's see if there's anything else. Well, some surprising. There's some. I wonder if that's on the right topic. So, okay, here's what I'm going to share. I regularly use what I would call animal communication, but I don't feel like I'm good at it, okay? So I don't want, like, if you're thinking, oh, great, that's animal communication, I can't do that, I don't do that. Like, I don't think that's true. Like, it's not really that difficult, And you might just notice or acknowledge all the different times when you're thinking something and then somebody has said it, or you just have a feeling about something, and so instead of going this way, you went this way, and it turned out to be just what you were looking for. So when we acknowledge and notice these little things, it's like pat on the back and encouragement to see more of them and notice more of them, and to acknowledge where you are very aware and you can communicate, and it does make a difference. So I've kind of perceived like working with horses all these years as an opportunity for a whole lot of experiments. It's really fun because like no one is telling me, oh, you have to do it this way, you have to do it this way. And in fact, when I was in a situation with this person who's really successful at the way she trains horses, and she didn't see any value in what I was doing with her horses, although the people that worked there did. They're like, wow, it's like a different horse. He's like not tense all the time and he's happy to see me. But she didn't really value that. She's like, wow, this is how you need to do it. So I was like, okay, boss. And I really did my best in a sincere way to say, okay, we need to do this, and here's how we do it this way, and this next step. And the horses were getting worse. They were like, who are you? You're not being yourself. And luckily she noticed that they were getting worse, so we abandoned that and tried something that would work. So yeah, I guess there's value in that. In like I think it's really valuable to learn. We have access to anyone in the whole world now thanks to the internet, and we can learn from so many people and get ideas and get help. And definitely, if you're feeling frustrated about something, please seek, just look around and who has some kind of helpful tip that will help me see something that could be a solution here, and to take that stuff and then not try to be someone else, but still be your authentic you. Because that I guess, like in the beginning of this video, it's like what I'm seeing is the relationship that these people are forming with their horses. Even like if I was just to observe it, I'd think, well, how's that even going to work? But the relationship connection that some of my clients have formed with their horses is a pretty strong foundation for the horse feeling more settled and wanting to take care of them. All right, it's a little bit cold. My comfort out here today. The weather's changed. Not complaining. It's pretty beautiful here. But I think I'm just going to wrap that up for today, and I hope you've enjoyed some of my stories, and maybe something will spark an idea for you, something inspiring. My websites are saralicht.com, SARALICHT.com, and also myunicorn.horse. And if you make an effort, I'm sure you can reach out to me and get in touch with me